One thing's for sure, and that's that getting your villain's look and character perfect is essential for standing out in the overpopulated slasher movie market. A good antagonist can lift even the most generic of the slicing and dicing subgenre of horror into something truly special, and a bad one can see even the most well-made of movies just fall flat with audiences.
What the hell is even that?
Currently, Art the Clown is slicing his way into the top ranks of slasher villain icons. Yet, there are so many great slasher villains that deserve some bloody, and I mean bloody, love and attention. So here's the Biddy Beer Bros list of top, underrated slasher villains you need to let cut their way into your life.
The Furies, multiple slashers.
Having to deal with one towering, murder-happy psychopath is bad enough, but having to contend with 8 would be a true nightmare. And in the 2019 hyper-violent and gore-happy Aussie slasher flick known as The Furies, that's exactly what the director blessed, or maybe should I say cursed us with. The attention to detail and designs on each of the 8 slashers is a thing of disgusting beauty, and the kills and acts of violence these antagonists inflict on the poor woman trapped in their deadly game just ramps up their terrifying presence tenfold. This movie is a lovingly crafted homage to the old school slasher flicks that popularized the genre back in the 80s and 90s and is a gory fun time to watch. So I suggest you let Skin Crow, Babyface, Rotface and co slash their way onto your screens and into your hearts.
Midnight Meat Train, Mahogany aka The Butcher.
The testicle-crunching English nutjob hardman known as Vinnie Jones is probably someone you wouldn't want to piss off in your local boozer. Never mind on an empty underground train when he's got a bloody meat tenderizer in hand. But yeah, that's exactly the situation Midnight Meat Train's protagonist finds himself in. And to put it eloquently, well, he done fucked up. There's nothing extravagant about the design of the monster, as for all intensive purposes, he's just an imposing man in a slick suit, but it's thanks to the performance of Vinnie Jones that the Butcher transforms into something so menacing, and the character's heinous actions just match the brutal demeanor the actor brings to the role.
The Collector series, The Collector.
Yeah, sure, the visual sight of the Collector is hella freaky, but what makes this fiend so, well, fiendish is just how sick and twisted he actually is, and the great lengths he goes to make his chosen victims truly suffer. Not only will the Collector decimate entire families with his vicious booby traps that feel like an odd mix of Saw and Home Alone gone wrong, but if you are the unlucky chosen one, he will collect you, and after vigorously torturing you, he will then add you to his collection in a way that is a disgusting sight to behold.
Reeker series, The Reeker.
Ignore the dumb name, as the mysterious entity known as the Reeker is anything but lacking in ghoulish imagination. From his jitterish movement to the true horror lurking behind his mask, he is just so goddamn creepy. Anytime this entity is on screen, you truly fear for the worst. But what is the Reeker, you may ask? Well, let's just say some things are better left unknown, and I suggest you go give this incredibly smart and different take on the slasher formula a go. Trust me, it doesn't reek. God, that was bad.
Monster Men, The Monster Man.
Is a machete-wielding, hockey mask-wearing killer that walks towards you at a snail's pace really that frightening? Well, yeah, I guess, but you know what's more scary? A stitched up, inbred monster mass of terror that chases you down in a bloody monster truck. I'm not gonna lie to you though, you're either gonna love or hate the movie, as, well, it's incredibly dumb and goofy, and the humor is kinda laughably bad, but yet the titular Monster Man is a well-designed and freaky slasher that I kinda fell in love with. His makeup design is great, and his choice of wheels is, well, inspired to say the least. Stupid movie, great Monster Man, and monster truck action. Enough said.
Laid to Rest series, Chrome Skull.
Chrome Skull is a killer that has a mask made of chrome, no surprise there, but it's not the bullet reflecting, metal grinning skull mask that make this slasher stand out. Yeah, sure, he still cuts a very imposing figure as is, but Chrome Skull's most unsettling feature, other than the fact he will slice and dice you while recording your demise, is that he is a moot who uses and mixes the recordings of his victims' suffering to give himself a seriously unsettling voice. And worse yet, his appearance after the events of the first film is true nightmare fuel.
The hills run red, baby face.
Porcelain dolls freak me out. They're scary enough as is, but taking the face off one of these so-called toys and strapping it to an inbred, hulking beast of a slasher gives us Babyface. And if you thought the cracked and broken mask was bad, well, wait till you see what's underneath, and the mask won't seem all that bad after all, unless you're me. Babyface is a ruthless killer who racks up an insane amount of gorily inventive kills with his limited time on our screens. And The Hills Run Red is a fantastic low-budget slasher flick that will please all fans of the genre. And while you may not want to give Babyface a cuddle, I'm sure he'll have you screaming for your mama. Yet at the same time, you'll still be wanting to see more of him once the credits roll.
Haunt the slashers.
Haunt is a true hidden gem of a horror movie, and its antagonists may not seem all that scary at first with their cheap-looking Halloween kind of costumes that hardly instill fear into the protagonists of the movie, never mind the viewers. But as the movie goes on and the slasher's evil deeds get even more sick and twisted, we are shown what is lurking behind the masks, and to say it's not unsettling is a true understatement. All this combined with the gleeful pleasure this group of mutilated monsters get from torturing the unfortunate squad unlucky enough to cross paths with them means you won't be forgetting about the slashers anytime soon. I really do suggest you check out Haunt if you're a lover of the slasher movie.
Ted Radford, Midnight Movie.
Ted Radford may not be the most inspired of names for a slasher villain, but his absolutely brilliant, eerie mask and unconventional murder weapon of choice really do help to make the antagonist stand out. And as the movie goes on, his appearance only gets more menacing as he is drenched in the blood of his victims and shows the wear and damage of his brutal massacre. His weapon of choice may not seem all that effective at first glance, but when being wielded by this tall, slim psychopath, well then let's just say Ted Radford can get pretty creative. Not a good thing for his victims, but great for our viewing pleasure.
Chained Bob.
Robert Fittler, or as he likes to be called, Bob, may not fit the typical slasher mold we're accustomed to, but that doesn't stop this being one man you do not want to be left alone in a dark room with. You see, Bob's whole serial killer shtick is that he poses as a seemingly innocent cab driver, which is just a ruse to get unsuspecting women into his car so he can kidnap them and do awful things to them before ending their life. And while he may not look like all that much when it comes to an intimidating presence, the sheer force and anger and brutality Vincent D'Onofrio brings to the character will surely have you questioning whether you ever want to take a taxi again.
Wolf Creek series, McTaylor.
Freaky supernatural clowns are all well and good and all, but a sadistic, bloodthirsty, absolutely mental Aussie bastard is just someone you don't want to fuck with. And that's why Mick Taylor takes the #1 spot on my list. And as if the Australian outback wasn't scary enough, throwing this absolute madman into the mix is sure to make you think twice before booking some tickets to go down under. Not only is Mick Taylor skilled with all manner of weaponry, traps, and methods of torture, but what really brings this character horrifyingly to life is just how evil he really is. He will befriend you, act like he's trying to help you, make you laugh, then make you feel extremely uncomfortable before hunting you down, possibly torturing you, then ending your life once and for all without even blinking. And I mean that laugh, that goddamn laugh. Right, that's it. Hopefully I've given you plenty of characters and movies for you to go check out. I didn't want to go into too much depth on each villain as well. Watching and discovering the evil deeds and just how ugly they can be is what makes slasher movies so goddamn fun. If you'd like to see a part 2, then hit me up in the comments below. And until next time, you guys stay tipsy.